What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. Today I am going to show you guys the latest in my book haul journey. I have some beautiful books that were sent to me that were gifts. I have a few that I picked up myself. Not many, but I want to show them off because they're absolutely beautiful. The first is an absolute complete surprise. I am so happy to see one in person. For those of you who don't know, KDP Publishing, which is through Amazon, Kindle, that is what our independent self-published authors use. And typically it looks like, sort of like this. You've got a paperback. It's always very nice paper. One of my favorite things about the KDP Publishing books is the quality of the paper. It's good, thick paper. It just feels good in your hands. So that's what they typically look like. But I have one of their new hardbacks. They have recently, I mean really recently, started offering hardbacks as an option for our indie and self-pub authors, and I have one. This book is gorgeous. You've seen it on the channel. I have the paperback that was sent to me by J.R. Trice, who is the author of The Rave. This is the first book in his Alf-Raver trilogy. It is a fantastic YA fantasy book. All of my friends that have read it loved it. In fact, we're all planning to reread this book right before book 2 comes out, which is not that much longer. Few months, guys, a few months. I'm so excited. But this was such a complete surprise. The author sent me one of the hardbacks. I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. The book is gorgeous anyway. The cover, it wraps around. Let me see, hopefully I've got it in the shot here. But this is one of the most gorgeous books I have ever seen. Now, I want to tell you how happy I am because even though we're now in hardbacks, KDP Publishing still use that same really great paper quality. It looks great. The binding looks amazing. I mean, it is bound a little tightly, but I would much prefer it being bound a little more tightly than I would not tight enough and then have it separating. But as you can see there, that book is done really well. Just absolutely gorgeous. Also included were a couple of bookmarks for each of the books in the Alf-Raver trilogy. So the second book is going to be called The Rebel, and that is what the cover is going to look like. It is absolutely gorgeous. I am so excited to have this beautiful, gorgeous book in my hands because it is just a collector's item. I'm also excited to finally see for myself what the hardback version is going to look like from KDP. So now I would 100% purchase hardbacks because they're excellent quality. Next up from the Bookmail stack is The Making of Gabriel Davenport. It's the first in the trilogy by Beverly Lee. She's the author who wrote The House of Little Bones that I read the arc for last year and absolutely loved. I love haunted houses. This one, I believe, is about a vampire. I have not read a good vampire story in quite a while. I've had the itch, and this is one I've been wanting to read for a long time, and another author was kind enough to gift it to me. For those of you who have been around my channel and around Brad Proctor's channel, you've heard us mentioning The Sadist by Austrian Spencer. That is a book we're going to be reading and reviewing this year, but he sent this book to me. He saw it on my wish list and sent it to me. He says he started the series and he's really been enjoying it, and I cannot wait. I have an anthology here. It's called Liminal Spaces, and it was edited by Kevin Lucia. I don't know if it's Lucia or Lucia or Luca, but it's an anthology of dark speculative fiction. If you don't know what liminal spaces are, let me tell you what it means so you can just get the full feel of what these stories are going to be about. A liminal space is a crossing over space, a transitional space where we are neither one thing nor another. We are nowhere and we are nothing, yet we are somewhere, something, and all things at once. Liminal spaces exist everywhere. All who are brave enough to venture out will wander into them eventually. Some lucky few escape. Many, however, never do. They drift, lost in between, never finding a way to escape, belong, or to simply be. I am thrilled. Thrilled. This sucker is going to be included in my rotation of short stories that I read in the morning. I was over the moon when I got this because it has stories from some of my favorite authors included, as well as a whole pack of new ones to discover. This baby arrived yesterday and I am just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's a collection of Zora Neale Hurston's essays. This is the most recent publication of anything by Zora Neale Hurston. It's called You Don't Know Us Negroes and Other Essays that she wrote. So it's a collection of all of her essays. I am so excited. If you've been around the channel a minute, you know that I discovered her last year in February, and my friend Evie from the channel, She Was Only Evie, we embarked on this journey to read through all of her works together. And Evie sent this to me even though she was not supposed to send me a single book in 2022, like the whole year. She's been cut off. The volume you hold in your hands brings to the fore Hurston's lifelong attempt to reclaim traditional Black folk culture from racist and classist degradations, to share with her readers the race pride that she felt, to build the race from within. So gorgeous, just gorgeous. Ugh. Zora Neale Hurston has my heart, you guys. And then let's talk about some books that I picked up. I got Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Idiot. I am in love with this flop. Did you see that? Let me do it again, slow motion. I mean, it's just, like, this is a paperback book. You're going to be opening it and reading it, and it's just going to lay open. That is wonderful. It even smells nice. How about that? I went for the Vintage Classics edition. The two translators that did this one, they also translated a lot of the other Russian literature that I've read, and I really like how they did it. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Let's see if The Idiot is the one that makes me fall in love with Dostoevsky. You know, earlier how I mentioned Evie and I got started into Zora Neale Hurston last year, and we've just been furiously reading through all of her works. Another author that's happened with last year, continuing through this year, is Stephen Graham Jones. The next book we're going to read by him is 3 Miles Past, which I actually believe are 3 or 4 short stories that he wrote. So I'm excited to read more by him as always. And then the final one I have here today is the second book. Oh, that's right. No, we don't flip that one. I bought this one used. I actually opened it live last week when I was on my live stream with my patrons, and it smelled so bad. So bad. It's in perfect condition. I bought it used. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's ever been read. The spine is not cracked or creased in any way. The cover is absolutely perfection. I will buy from that store again. Just really nice. So I got First Writer's Call, which is the second book in the Green Writer series. That is a read-along hosted by Feeney Reads. Have that information down in the description if you want to join in. I have not read the first one yet. I'm going to very soon, maybe next week. But everybody else that has read it in the read-along said it reads really fast. They've really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward into getting into that. But these two, I actually completely forgot about. I ordered them Christmas afternoon. I guess they came from across the pond and it just took them a while to get through customs. But this is book 2 and 3 in the Sweet Pea trilogy by C.J. Skews. Cannot wait to read these. My friend Mason in the Dark recommended this trilogy to me. I really loved the first book, so I can't wait to continue the series. And a huge thank you goes to Stardre from my Discord. She recommended to me these manga. Stitch. It's a Stitch manga. It's so cute. She found the first one, and of course I went to buy it immediately, and I saw that there are actually 3 out so far. Look how cute these covers are. That's the first one, and this one really cracks me up. And then the third one. Yeah, I'm going to be reading these sooner rather than later, so thank you so much, Chardre, for finding those and recommending them to me. And then keeping with manga, I also got the next Chew comic. This is a follow-up series to the first one that John Layman wrote that was called Chew, C-H-E-W. It is what would happen if chicken were outlawed, how that came to be, how chicken came to be outlawed. Bird flu broke out, killed millions of people worldwide, and so if you ate chicken, you were eating it because you got it on the black market. It was so good. It was so good. Different characters had different powers in regards to food. So the first series, the main character was Tony. This one, I believe this is his daughter that is the main character, and I think he's a part of it too. I think they end up becoming a team. I've got the first one floating around on my shelf, haven't read it yet, but now that I've got two, I'm gonna have to get on that. And then the last book that came in the mail is Kill Crete by Scott Thomas. This is part of a special project that I have cooked up in my mind. We'll see if I can actually get it out of here and out there to you guys so you can see and hopefully enjoy. I cannot wait. I can't wait for many reasons. One, I really think this idea that I have a lot of entertainment value, but I also have high expectations for this book. So many people have told me this is the scariest book they've ever read, or at least it is the best haunted house story they've ever read. So I'm extremely excited. I love this cover. The cover's creepy. I noticed that there's two people standing on the roof, and then I just noticed for the first time that there's a noose hanging from the tree on the cover. I'm excited. I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. Alright, so what did I get this week? Well, I am very excited because I got some good stuff. Unexpected stuff, too. So let's start with what I got as far as book mail. So first up, I have here book 2 of the Illuminati series by Joseph Sale. It's called The Tunnel. Now, I say it is book 2 in this series, but these books are standalones. They can absolutely be read independently of one another, alone. You don't have to read the other. But Joseph did tell me the third book is going to draw elements from these two together in some way. I am so excited for this because this one, as soon as I read Dark Hilarity by him last year, I will link that review in the cards for you. As always, when I'm starting a book and I'm loving it, I go look and see what else the author has out there. And I saw the description of this one said that there was a monster haunting London and people believed it was the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper, and I was sold. I'm going to be reading this one very soon. I may even have it read by the time this video goes up. And then next, also from Joseph Sell, he sent me his newest, Virtue's End. Guys, I don't know what this one is about. I don't. But here is what sold me on this. One thing I love to do is read the author's note. In this case, for Virtue's End, the author's note is right at the front. And I can see why. Because when you hear this, if you don't want to read this book, I don't know you. Listen to this. In 2020, I made a trip to Glastonbury that changed my life, probably forever. In the gardens of the Chalice Well on Michaelmas, I am totally saying that wrong, I know I am. I had a spiritual epiphany and felt the spear tip of the Archangel Michael pierce my left hand with holy fire. What emerged subsequently from this trip was an awakening deep within me of an always present but repressed magical current. The outpouring of this current is the book you now hold in your hands. The book was completed on the 28th of March 2021 with the occurrence of the full moon, and after I cast my anger into the fires of the dragon's mouth and, in the process, finally learned my true name. Like, I have chills. That is amazing. I am stoked. It looks like it's written in verse. I see portraits, I see illustrations. I am excited. It looks like a collection. So I'm gonna add this in my short story rotation in the mornings and dive in and see what I think, and I'll update you guys on what I find. Next up, from my friend Josephine from the channel Feeny Reads. She got a couple of books that, one, it was not the cover she wanted, and the other, they just sent her the wrong book, or they sent her this book in addition to what she ordered and they told her to keep it. So first up is Firestarter by Stephen King. I love this. It's the UK sized trade, which is a little smaller than US, but it fits nicely in the hand. It is floppy. I'm so amazed at that. Most of the time UK books are bound super tight, but Josephine knows I'm collecting Stephen King and just reading through all of his stuff. So when she asked me if I wanted that one, I was like, yes, please. The other one she sent is actually book 5 of the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. She knows that I recently read All Systems Red and loved it. Knew that I was going to be collecting the series. It doesn't matter that I only have 1 and 5. It's Brothers and Sisters 2, 3, and 4 will be on the way shortly. And then finally, that just arrived is Sarah J. Maas's second Crescent City book, House of Sky and Breath. This book is gorgeous. I guess I need to read the first one. I actually got that one right when it came out. I've never read anything by Sarah J. Maas, but I hear this adult series of hers is a great place to start. But guys, I am just in love with just the artwork. Like, that is just gorgeous. So I had originally meant to read the first one last month so I could read this one this month when it came in. And well, you see how well that worked out. My TBRs have just been an utter crash and burn nightmare these last few months. I've got to change something. I'm working on it. I don't know what. Haven't made up my mind yet. And that is going to take care of all of the books that I have either been sent and or mailed in the month of January. Do you see any favorites? Do you see any that you're interested in reading besides the Stitch manga? I know everybody is going to have to get this manga because it is so cute. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have had a great morning. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely fantastic, and I will catch you in the next one.